Hi, thank you so much for joining me for some yoga today. We're going to start lying down on our back and we're going to be doing a breathing exercise to begin with. So you're just going to lie however is comfortable, knees bent or legs long, whatever feels good in your body. And we're going to bring our hands to our belly. Now just take a second to let yourself arrive on your mat, arrive in this space. And we're just going to notice our breath coming in and our breath coming out. So start to find your natural rhythm of breath as you breathe in and out through the nose. Feeling your belly lift up underneath your hands as you breathe in, and your belly and your rib cage softening as you breathe out. Finding a sense of space in your body as you inhale, and softening, releasing any tension that you are aware that you're holding onto with your breath out. A couple of more rounds like this. A couple more rounds like this. So we're going to start with a breathing exercise called box breathing. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4, hold the breath at the top for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, and hold our body void of breath at the bottom of the exhale for a count of 4. So we'll all just take one nice deep inhale together. So breathing in and breathing out. And we begin. So inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Keep going with this breath pattern. You may wish to make the counts longer or shorter. As long as every breath and every hold is even, you can do whatever feels best for you right now. Really noticing the movement of your belly as you breathe in and out, holding the breath at the top, feeling your abdomen full of air, and holding the breath at the bottom, feeling your abdomen void of air. You're going to do one more round. Next time you breathe out, you're going to let your breath come back to normal. So just nice, natural breathing in and out, letting your body take the air as it needs it. And once you're finished with that breath cycle, you're just going to bring your knees in towards your chest, one hand on each knee, and just give those knees a little hug in, perhaps a rock side to side. So we're going to keep the right knee in toward the chest. If you were rocking, then you're just going to come to stillness. Right knee stays in toward the chest. Let the left leg lengthen down the mat. Send the heel away as you draw the right knee in and feel that opposition in your body. Rock the right knee side to side. Just massage the hip flexor. Keeping the belly soft. Good, and then we're going to extend that right foot up toward the ceiling, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh, and we're going to circle at the ankle joint. Just finding some movement there through the foot, through the ankle. Be interested in how it feels, where there's any tight bits. And then I want you to pause at a part that feels the tightest. So you're just going to hold that stretch, maybe wriggle in and out of it just to encourage some softening there through that tight tissue, that tight fascia in the foot. Breathing deeply. Good, and then let your foot relax. We're just going to bend and straighten that knee. So when that leg straightens, you're going to feel that extra little bit of intensity through your hamstring. So it's just like a little bit of flossing into that hamstring muscle there. So we're encouraging it to lengthen, but not holding it for so long that the body wants to tighten against that stretch. It's just an encouragement. Beautiful. Then we're just going to relax that knee. Take hold of the outside of that right knee with the left hand. Extend the right arm out at shoulder height beside you and gently guide that right knee over to the left into a gentle spinal twist, turning the head to look past the right hand. So because we've only just started, we only want this to be a gentle twist. So don't try to force that knee to the floor. Don't try and ask your body to do anything that it's not ready to do. We're just encouraging a gentle opening through the spine, through the hip and through the shoulder. Good. One more deep breath in. Then as you exhale, let's return back to center, and we're going to bring both knees back in toward the chest again. Good. Giving them both a little squeeze, make space through the lower back. Good. Then extending that right leg down the mat. Drawing the right heel away as far as you can, bringing the left knee in, and then just give that left knee a little rock side to side, massaging the left hip flexor. You might notice maybe the left hip flexor is tighter or looser than the right. It's just noticing. It's not trying to fix anything or judge anything or expect anything in our body to be different. It's just noticing and being aware of the differences in our body. So now extending that left foot up toward the ceiling, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh, and then just start to circle at the ankle joint. So once again, just being interested in the ankle and how it feels, circling both ways. You might feel or hear some cracks. And then I just want you to pause where you feel that the tension is the strongest and breathe into that space. Maybe giving that foot a little wiggle around that tight area. Just encouraging the body to let go of that tension. Taking some deep breaths. Okay, and then relax the foot, and we're just going to bend and straighten that knee. So just mobilizing through the knee joint here, opening up through the hamstring. And this might feel like a little bit of work through the front of the thigh as well, and that's absolutely fine. That's just strengthening all of the muscles around the knee joint that can help keep the knee supported. So this is a useful exercise to do in itself, aside from just finding a hamstring stretch. Good. Okay, and then we're going to take the right hand across to the outside of the left knee, extend the left arm out at shoulder height, and gently bring that left knee over to the right, taking our gaze past the left fingers. We're just trying to keep that left shoulder on the floor here, so we're not taking ourselves all the way over into that twist. Soften the belly, encourage space through the lower back, heaviness in the shoulders. Taking some deep breaths here, just feeling that spine unwind, letting go of tension. Good. One more deep breath in. Then as you exhale, we're going to return back to center. Bring both knees in one last time. We're going to come into a little happy baby here. So reach up, either holding on to the outside edges of your feet, or if you can't reach, maybe inside edges, or just wrapping your forearms around the backs of your knees. And we're just going to rock side to side, playing around a little bit, maybe seeing how far you can go, rocking side to side. It's quite fun to see, especially in the privacy of your own home, how far over you can get before completely going to the side. See if you can find some breaks in your shoulders and your hips as you go side to side. Good, come back to center. One hand on each knee, rock yourself up to a seated position. And we're just going to come over our feet to come into all fours. So finding that hand and knee position, we're going to come into some cat-cow. So we inhale, looking up toward the ceiling and lifting the tailbone, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone, looking down towards the knees, scooping through the belly. Inhale, looking up, lift the tailbone. And exhale, rounding through the spine, pushing the floor away, scooping through the belly. One more like this, inhale. And exhale. Good, bringing ourselves back to center. We're now going to do the same thing, but we're going to add our leg movement. So we're going to inhale, look up and lift your right leg up into the air and squeeze your right glute, your right butt cheek. Then exhale, bring the right knee in toward the nose as you press the floor away, scooping through the belly. Inhale, lift that right leg all the way up, squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale, rounding through the body, drawing that nose to knee. Inhale, looking all the way up, that leg reaches up. Exhale, bring it through, scoop through the belly. And last one, inhale, reach up. And exhale, bring it through. Lovely. Bringing that right knee back down onto the other side. Let's go left leg. Inhale, reach it up toward the ceiling, looking up. Then exhale, knee to nose, scoop through the belly. Inhale, reach that leg all the way up, squeeze those shoulder blades. Then exhale, rounding, pushing the floor away. Two more, inhale, reach. Exhale, round. Inhale, reach, last one. And exhale, scooping through and around. Beautiful, bringing those knees back down. Step the knees a little wider and feet together. And you're going to bring your hips back to your child's pose, walking your hands forward, letting your forehead rest on the floor. And take some deep breaths into the side body. Feeling that length through the spine, trying to reach the shoulders away from the wrists and the hips away from the shoulders. So we have that sense of length through the entire upper part of our body. Walk the hands over to the left side of the mat and send your hips over the right heel. So you're in a bit of a side bend here in this child's pose. Breathing into the right side body, feeling that space created through the right armpit, maybe lowering the right armpit towards the floor a little more. Good, and then going to the other side, so walking the hands over to the right, sending that left hip over the left heel, breathing into the left side body, lowering through the left armpit. Just enjoy that stretch, that length. Imagining that nice long line drawn from your left pinky finger all the way through to your left hip. Good, let's bring it back to center. We're going to come back into all fours and lower ourselves down onto our belly. So now that we're on our belly, we're going to have our hands down underneath our shoulder area and squeezing those elbows in towards our sides. So resting the head down, we're just going to give those shoulders a little roll back and down, loosening them up away from the ears. And then pause when they're in their lowest place away from the ears. So we're squeezing those elbows in toward the sides, drawing the shoulders down away from our ears. On our inhale, we're going to lift the head, look forward, and reach the breastbone forward to come into a nice little upper back extension, little baby cobra. Then exhale, rolling all the way back down, letting the forehead rest on the floor. Again, inhale, looking up and forwards. Just finding that extension through the upper back. Then exhale, coming back down. Good, the next two, we're going to take the hands away. So we're going to inhale, look up and forward, take the hands off the floor, but keep squeezing those elbows in toward the sides. Exhale, coming back down. Good, last one like this. Inhale, looking up and forward, lifting the hands off the floor, squeeze those upper arms back, and then exhale, coming down. Good. Just when you're here, make sure that your hands are now in line with your chest, in line with the center of your chest, because this is where you're going to be setting yourself up for your downward dog. So to get your correct positioning and your correct stride for downward dog, those hands are in the center of the chest. We're going to gently push ourselves up into a sort of long all fours position, kind of like a half plank. Tuck the toes under and then send the hips back into our first downward dog, pedaling out through the heels. So we're just bending one knee and then the other, finding space in the back of the legs. Nice deep breaths. Good, and then find some stillness in your downward dog. And once again, think about drawing the hips away from the shoulders and the shoulders away from the wrists. So we have a sense of length through the whole part of our upper body, and then a sense of depth through the back of the legs into the heels. So you can bend the knees here if you need to, if those hamstrings feel quite tight. Let's take a walk up to the front of the mat, coming into forward fold. Just here at the front of the mat, holding on to opposite elbows, releasing the head, rocking side to side, perhaps closing the eyes if you trust your balance on your feet in this forward fold, and just let the weight of gravity weigh down on your spine. Just getting really heavy here through the upper body. Just wriggle out any tension that you feel that you're gripping onto through your spine, and then releasing the hands towards the floor. Bend the knees as much as you need to feel comfortable here in this forward fold. The aim here is just to really relax and lengthen the spine down toward the floor without too much holding or bracing. Beautiful. Pressing through the feet now to roll up to standing, one vertebrae at a time. Finishing with a shoulder roll back and down. And then we're just going to be standing here at the front of the mat with the palms facing forward, closing the eyes, and just feeling this standing posture. Just feel what's going on in the body before we start with our sun salutations. Just noticing how we feel after this initial bit of movement. Taking some deep breaths, grounding through the feet, relaxing through the shoulders, standing tall through the crown of the head. So I just had to change positions on my mat to face the other way because I realized that when I was standing on the other end, I felt like I was looking behind me. I'm still getting used to this filming stuff. So if you look at your camera and I'm now facing a different direction, it's fine. I moved. Okay, so let's start with some sun salutations. We're going to bring our feet together, looking straight ahead. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up, perhaps looking up toward the ceiling to create a back bend. And then we exhale, hinging at the hips to dive forward into our forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, flattening the back. Then let's exhale, bring the right foot all the way back into our lunge position, our long lunge. We're going to stay here for a couple of breaths and just rock forward and back on that back foot. So we're just mobilizing through those right toes, through the heel, and also feeling some length created through the front of that right hip here. Maybe get a little more depth through the hips by sinking the pelvis toward the floor, as long as you don't feel any tightness in the back of your pelvis or your lower back. If you do, press the floor away a little bit more and lift the hips to create that sense of safety in the body. One more deep inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to step that left foot all the way back into our downward dog position. Pedaling out through the feet, finding that sense of comfort here in downward dog, taking some deep breaths, releasing the head, shaking it out, fingers spread nice and wide. On your next inhale, we're going to bring ourselves forward into a plank position. And then we exhale, bring the knees down, untuck the toes, and lowering the chest all the way down to the floor. Here we are in our baby cobra position. So we're going to inhale, lift the head and the chest slightly, and then exhale, coming back down. 2 more times like that, maybe taking the hands away from the floor if you feel that that's something that you want to do. And exhale, coming back down. Last one, inhale, lifting up. And then exhale, hands down, pushing ourselves back into our downward dog. Taking one nice deep inhale here. On the exhale, bring the knees down and step the right foot through in between the hands and pick up that left knee. So we're back in a lunge, but on the other leg here now. So we're going to, again, take a couple of breaths here just to feel the hips settle into this lunge position, rocking forward and back off the back toes, finding that length and strength through the back leg. So keeping that left knee as straight as you can, and either sinking the pelvis a little deeper if you want a bit more stretch, or lifting it up a bit higher if you want more safety through your lower back and the back of your pelvis. One more inhale here. Then as you exhale, we're going to step that left foot forward to the front of the mat, coming into our forward fold, feet together. Inhale, lifting all the way up to standing, arms reach up overhead. And then exhale, hands down to heart center. Nice, let's go again. So inhale, we reach the arms up. Exhale, bringing the arms all the way down into forward fold. We're going to go a little quicker now. So inhale, coming up halfway. Then exhale, this time step the left foot back into your long lunge. Inhale, push the floor away through fingers and back foot. Exhale, step back into your downward dog. Inhale, come forwards to your high plank position, legs nice and strong, push the floor away. Exhale, knees lower, chest lowers all the way down. Inhale, coming up into cobra. Let's lift a little higher now if you feel comfortable. Then exhale, tuck the toes, bringing the hips back into downward dog. Taking a deep inhale in downward dog. Then exhale, bring the knees down and step the left foot forward in between the hands, picking up the right knee into our long lunge. Take an inhale, push the floor away. Then exhale, step the right foot forward into your forward fold, folding deeply. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead, looking up toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Good, adding on again, inhale, reaching the arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, step the right foot back into a lunge position. This time we're going to come up into a high lunge. So as you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, and we're going to hold this high lunge, press the floor away through the back toes. Feel strong through the front leg, a nice bend in that left knee so that the left shin is vertical. Relaxing the shoulders, but not trying to squeeze the shoulders down. We allow the shoulders to lift as the arms lift, but keep the neck relaxed. Beautiful. Taking one more inhale here, feeling strong through those legs. And then we exhale, bring the hands down, step back into our downward dog. On our inhale, bring ourselves forward to plank. Exhale, lowering down toward the floor. Maybe you go all the way down in without dropping your knees, so like a plank all the way down to the floor. Inhale, coming up to your cobra. Then exhale, tucking the toes, bringing the hips all the way back into downward dog. Taking an inhale in downward dog. And then exhale, let's bring that right foot forward, maybe without bringing the knee down first. So we just go straight from downward dog into the lunge without knees coming down. And then we're going to inhale the arms all the way up to our high lunge on the other leg. So here we're pushing the floor away strongly through those back toes. Just check that that front shin is vertical. Our arms are reaching up, but we're soft in our neck. Energy through the fingertips, long through the spine, open through the hips, strong in the legs. Taking one more inhale here. Exhale, bring the hands down and step the left foot forward into forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms reach up overhead. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Now we're going to come into chair. So we're going to sit the hips all the way down, keeping the feet and knees squeezed together, but see if you can pull the heels apart. So get the feeling of separating the heels, just the energy of separating the heels without actually needing to move the heels. And we're going to reach the arms either in front of us or above us. So just find a sense of strength wherever you are. So weight in the heels, pull those heels apart, squeeze the knees together to activate through your glutes, your outer hips. One more inhale here. And then as you exhale, folding all the way down into your forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. And then we exhale, step that left foot all the way back into our lunge position. This time we're going to take a twist. So we're going to take that left hand to the floor, reach the right arm up toward the ceiling and twist here. So we're trying to keep those inner thighs squeezing toward the midline. Keep that back leg nice and strong. So we're really straight through that left leg, keeping that right knee bent. Maybe you want to use a block here underneath your left hand if the floor feels like it's quite far away. But I want you to feel that you can really ground into whatever you have contact on. So grounding through left hand and grounding through both feet. Extending the spine long from the back of the pelvis through to the crown of the head throughout this rotation. One more inhale here. And then we exhale, bring that right hand down, step back into our downward dog. Inhale, coming forwards to your plank position. Exhale, lowering down in your way of choice, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, coming up into your cobra. Then exhale, tucking the toes, bringing the hips back. Taking one deep inhale here. And then exhale, bringing that left foot forward in between the hands. And we're going to take our twist the other way. So pressing the right hand down into the floor, reaching that left arm up toward the ceiling, squeezing the inner thighs towards each other, nice and strong through that back leg, integrity through that top arm, pressing into whatever you're making contact with, so feet and right hand, in order to feel that strength and stability through the rest of your body. So we're not collapsing anywhere here. Lengthening through the crown of the head throughout the twist. Taking one more deep inhale. And then exhale, bring that left hand down, step forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Then exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's come into chair again. So sweeping the floor, sitting down through the heels, reaching the arms either in front of you or ahead of you. Sitting into the hips, pulling apart the heels, getting that outer hip activation, strong through the back. So this should feel like a bit of a back bend. Your back is straight, but you feel like there's a bit of extension happening, like your back muscles are working. Taking one more inhale here, then exhale, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. And then exhale, let's now walk or step all the way back into our downward dog position. So no lunge this time, we're just going to get straight back to downward dog. And just see if you can use that muscle memory to know where your downward dog lands. So the stride between your hands and your feet. Taking some deep breaths here. Just noticing how your body feels after a few rounds of movement. Also feeling free to take a child's pose here if that is good for you. So on your next inhale, we're going to reach the right leg up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, bring that right foot all the way through in between the hands. And we're going to come into our warrior two. So I'm just going to change direction so you can see this position. So warrior two is our arms wide and our back foot is parallel to the short side of the mat. And the front foot is pointing forwards. So again, our shin is vertical, our front knee is bent, the back leg is straight and strong. Our gaze is over the right fingertips, our shoulders are relaxed. And again, grounding through the feet, pressing through the outside edge of that back foot. Good. On your next inhale, we're going to take reverse warrior. So sliding that left hand down the left leg, reaching the right arm up toward the ceiling. Get the sense of trying to reach up and grab something on the ceiling here. So we're still keeping that nice bend through the right knee, but we're finding that length through the right side body. One more inhale. And then exhale, bring the right elbow down to the right thigh, reach the left arm overhead. I want you to think about creating a straight line between the left foot and the left fingertips. We are pressing strongly away from the right leg with the right elbow, and we're finding space through that left side of our body. Gaze is up toward the ceiling if that's okay for the neck. Otherwise, we're just looking straight ahead. Relax the jaw, relax the face, strong in the arms. We're going to flow through that with our breath. So on our inhale, we're going to come all the way back to reverse warrior. And then on the exhale, come forward to extended side angle. Inhale, reaching back. And exhale, coming forward. The legs don't change throughout this. Inhale, reach back. So keep that bend in the knee the whole time. And exhale, coming forward. Good, last time. We inhale, reach back. And then exhale, coming forward. We're going to stay here and maybe see if we can get a little deeper. So see if you can maybe bend a little further into that knee and maybe reach the floor or reach a block, whatever's there, and just get a little more depth into this extended side angle. Good. Now we're going to bring the left hand down and turn ourselves into a lunge position. And we're going to float forward into our standing split. So we're going to just lift that left leg up as high toward the ceiling as possible and straighten that right leg. Good. From here, you can have your hands on the floor or maybe on a chair. If this balance feels okay for you, you can just start to bend and straighten the knee. So we're working with a little bit of dynamic stability here in our standing split. Keep your floating legs strong so you haven't lost focus on what you can't see. It's still attached to you and it still is connected to the rest of your body in its balance. Good. One more bend and straighten. And then we're going to step all the way back into our plank position. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale, lower yourself down. Inhale, coming up to cobra. Then exhale, let's take a child's pose. So sitting the hips back on the heels, resting the head down. The arms can either reach overhead here or you can reach them back behind you if you're getting a bit tired of them being up so much. And take a few deep breaths here. Okay, let's come back into our downward dog. So coming into that long hand and knee stance, and then picking up the knees and sending the hips back into that downward dog position. Okay, we're going to do all of that on the left leg now. So inhale, lifting the left leg up toward the ceiling. Then exhale, bring it through in between the hands, coming through to warrior two on the left side. So once again, we're setting up with those heels aligned, back foot parallel to the short side of the mat, back leg is straight, front knee is bent, shin vertical, and just check that that front knee is pointing in the same direction as the rest of the toes. So we're not collapsing in with the knee or maybe turning the toes out. So relaxing the shoulders, arms long and strong. Find a nice even breath. Find steadiness in your body. On your next inhale, let's reach back into our reverse warrior. So the left hand reaches up toward the ceiling. The right hand slides down the right leg. We're still bending into that left knee, but we're finding space through the right side body here. Try and keep this back leg straight. Don't let it collapse with the weight of your body. One more inhale. And then we exhale, bring that left elbow to the thigh, reaching the right arm overhead. Press that thigh away with the left hand. Reach long through the top side of the body. Maybe we look straight ahead. Maybe we look up toward the ceiling. Think about turning your body toward the ceiling. So turn that right shoulder back. So we're opening the chest a little more to the ceiling. Good. Make sure you're still strong in your feet, pushing the floor away through feet and elbow. And keep breathing. Okay, let's flow through both now. So on your next inhale, we're going to reach back, left arm towards ceiling, right hand down, right leg. Then exhale, left elbow to left thigh, reach the right arm overhead. Inhale, reaching back. And exhale, reaching forward. Stay grounded through those feet, the legs don't change. Inhale, reaching back. Exhale, coming forward. Good. Inhale, reach back, last one. And exhale, come forward. Let's pause here and see if maybe we can get a bit deeper. So maybe bend a little more into that left leg. Maybe that left fingertips can come to the floor. It's always a nice idea to use our arm to keep that left knee back. So when we're tempted to pull that left knee in for easier mobility, we can just use our arm as a little assist to keep that left knee pushed back. Good, deep breaths here. Keep that right arm strong, right leg strong. Good, then let's turn down to frame our left foot coming into that low lunge and pick up our right leg into our standing split. So reaching it as high as it will go toward the ceiling, finding our balance on those fingertips, or maybe a wall or a chair in front of you, maybe the couch is in front of you and you're holding your balance. And then we're just going to start to bend and straighten that standing leg, working on that standing stability within the balance. Good. You can pick a spot on the floor to stare at as you do this. Pay attention to your floating leg as well. That is going to really influence how well you can balance. If you just let go of it and let it do whatever it wants, then it's going to really impact where your body finds its center. Good. One more bend and straighten. Beautiful. And then we're just going to land that right foot next to the left foot so we end up in a forward fold. Let's heel toe the feet a little wider apart. So we come into a bit of a deeper forward fold. So feet are just a little bit wider than hip distance. And then maybe we're going to find our toes, our big toes, hook our first two fingers, our pointer fingers, around the big toes. Bring the elbows wide and draw ourselves deeper into this forward fold. If this feels quite good for you and you have the hamstring flexibility, feel free to wriggle your feet back in, and you're going to do this with your feet together or hip distance apart. So the closer your feet are together, the stronger the hamstring stretch. But when they're a bit further apart, it's a bit easier. Deep breaths. Just using the hook around those big toes to draw us deeper into this forward fold. Good. Releasing the toes. And then we're going to roll up to standing. One vertebrae at a time. Finishing with a shoulder roll back and down. Good. Turning the palms forward and closing the eyes and just feeling the standing position, feeling grounded through the soles of the feet, tall through the crown of the head. Taking a few deep breaths here, finding quiet within. So we're going to come into a couple of balances now, a couple more balances. So we really want this inner quiet to help guide us and keep our body and mind still and stable. Okay, blinking the eyes open. We're going to come into our dancer's pose. We're going to start with the right leg. So we're going to pick up our right foot, hold on to it behind us. So we're in our king dancer position. That left arm is going to reach up toward the ceiling. So we're thinking about pressing the foot into the hand and drawing the right knee back as much as you can so the knees are aligned. Taking some deep breaths here, just feeling that balance, that stretch of the front of the thigh. And then if you want to come into something a bit deeper, you're just going to change your grip so that you're holding onto the inside of the foot with the palm turned out, so the crease of the elbow is pointing outwards. And we're going to kick the foot into the hand and come forward into our dancer's pose. So we're lifting that back leg up, reaching the left hand forward, chest is facing forward, and keeping that balance on that left leg. Strength through the right glute, the right hamstring. Looking at a fixed point, gaze is still on something that isn't moving. Good, now with control, wherever you are, you're going to let go of your foot and step yourself into your warrior one. So the back foot is pointed forwards at a 45-degree angle, so different to warrior two, because this way our hips and our body is facing forward. So turn the chest to face forward in the same direction as those left toes. And then we're going to come into our eagle arms. So we're going to take the right elbow underneath the left elbow and then wrap the forearms around each other so that you have fingertips and palms connected. So from here, we're going to try and pull those hands away from our face. Inhale, take a little back bend, reaching the arms toward the ceiling, so leaning back. And then exhale, we're going to come down into our humble warrior. So we inhale, come all the way up into that little back bend, pulling the arms away toward the ceiling. And then exhale, coming forward into humble warrior, drawing the arms down toward the floor. Good, 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up and back. And exhale, coming forward. Inhale, coming back. And exhale, coming forward. Good, now we're going to straighten up and we're going to keep the arms and we're just going to step forward to the front of the mat again and see if we can add legs. So for legs, that right leg is going to cross over the left leg. Maybe that's all you do. You just bend the knees and you've just got those right tiptoes on the floor next to your left foot. If you can balance, you're going to see if you can wrap your right toes around your left leg and you're sort of in this double twist of the arms twisted and the legs twisted. So either just cross your right knee over the left and balance, or wrap your right toes behind your left calf and balance. Good. A couple more breaths here. Sit down into that left bent knee. Pull the arms away from your face and up. Good. And then gently standing tall and releasing. Take a nice deep inhale. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, cactus arms all the way down, just loosening all of that off. And again, inhale, reaching all the way up. And exhale, cactus arms down. Last time, inhale, reach up. And then exhale, let's catch the left leg now. So if we're going to come into dancer's pose on the left leg, we're going to catch that left foot. That right arm is going to stay up or holding on to whatever you need, wall, couch. And then we're going to kick that left foot into the hand. Keep the knees aligned. Find that stretch through the front of the left thigh. Almost think like you're trying to send that left knee down towards the floor. Good. Now if you want to move this on a bit, you're going to grab hold more of the inside of your foot. So if you want to look at the camera to see the position my arm's in, your palm is facing outwards, your elbow crease is facing outwards, and you're holding onto the inner arch of the foot. And then you're kicking the foot into the hand, and we're reaching forward. Good, so we're lifting that back leg, that left leg. We're reaching forward with that right arm. And this is a little back bend as well. So we want to keep the chest facing forward. And we want to feel that strength through the back line of our body. Eyes forward, chest lifted. Okay, and then we're going to find our way into our warrior one on the right leg. So letting go of the foot, using proprioception to find our foot placement with the left leg and reaching the arms up overhead. So again, we're making sure that our back toes are pointed forward at a 45-degree angle. Hips and chest point forward as much as we can. So the hips may struggle to go forward. That's okay. Just turn the left hip as far forward as you can, but then see if you can turn the chest to face forward. So it might feel a little bit like a rotation. So now we're going to come into eagle arms on the other side. So that left arm is going to come onto the right arm, and then we're going to wrap the palms or wrap the forearms so that the palms are touching. We inhale, look up, take a little back bend, pull the arms away from the face, strong through the legs. Then we exhale, come all the way down into our humble warrior. Inhale, reaching all the way up. Stay grounded through both feet the whole way. And then we exhale, come all the way back down. 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, coming back down. So this is a little balance within itself. So it takes a lot of focus as well as that shoulder stretch that we're getting. Good, last one. And then finishing back into your upright position. And we're going to step that left foot forward and just wrapping that left foot or left knee over the right knee, bending into the right knee. And then if you can, you're going to see if you can wrap your left foot around the back of the right leg. Oh, that's not happening for me today. I did a little leg workout yesterday, so my legs are quite stiff. So it's interesting that that's not happening today, but that doesn't matter because in yoga, it doesn't matter what you can or can't achieve. All that matters is that you showed up on the mat to do it and to make some time and space for your mind, your body, and your breath. So we're letting go of any attachments of anything that we achieve and can or can't do. It's just always interesting. Good, okay, one more breath here. Good, and then we release. Good. This time we're going to bring the feet nice and wide into a nice wide squat stance, and we're going to take those big arm circles with the wide squat stance. So we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale, cactus down with a goddess squat. So inhale, reaching up, and exhale, cactus down. Good, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, cactus. Good, last one, inhale. And then exhale, cactus. Stay down here. We're going to bring the forearms down to the knees. And we're just going to rock side to side. Good. Then hands to the floor. Wriggle those feet a little bit closer in. And we're going to come to our malasana, so low squat. So elbows to inner knees, keeping the chest lifted. Weight in the heels, lifting the inner arches. Good, so you may not be down this far, and that's absolutely fine. Your low squat is individual to you, so you might be here, and that's fine. You might be here, that's absolutely fine. So just go to wherever you feel most comfortable. Okay, let's bring ourselves down to the floor now. So now we're going to come into some seated postures. So we'll start with half Lord of the Fishes. I'll face this way, it's probably easiest for you to see this way. The left leg is going to be lengthened out in front of you, and that right foot is going to be crossed over the left leg. And we're going to wrap our left arm around that right knee, and then we're just going to turn ourselves to the right, walk that right hand as far back as you can without leaning back into it. Okay, so we want to be upright in our spine and not supporting ourselves on that backhand as much as we can. So just think about pushing the floor away through those fingertips, but reach the arm as far back as you can. If this feels okay for you, then you can bend the left knee in so that you have both knees bent, but your right leg is bent over the left. So we're just going to turn our gaze behind that right shoulder, sitting nice and tall. Try to feel both hip bones or both seat bones on the floor during this twist. Sometimes it can be another variation and quite nice to bring that left elbow to the outside of that right knee and take the twist that way. It just gets a little deeper, but it does encourage sometimes a bit of rounding through the spine, so just make sure that it's not sending you into a hunched position. Make sure you can lift up into it. One more breath here. Good, and then release. Let's neutralize with a wide leg forward fold. So we're going to take our legs nice and wide. Take a big inhale, sit tall, and then we exhale, come into that forward fold, dropping the head. Maybe if you can reach the feet, it's quite nice to hold onto the feet to help support you here, or maybe some cushions or blocks in front of you just to rest your elbows on. And we're just going to take a few breaths here, encouraging the inner thighs to release, softening through the belly, and finding space through the spine, the hamstrings. Try to stay with a regular rhythm of breath. Often in these longer holds, the mind tends to wander, so it's always best to just keep that focus on the inhale and exhale cycle. It just helps keep our monkey mind occupied. For the last couple of breaths, see if you can reach a little bit deeper. So as the body starts to feel safe and let go, maybe you can encourage a bit more depth, if that feels okay. Good, and then we're going to come all the way back up. We're going to take half Lord of the Fishes on the other side. So take the same option that you took on the first side. So if you had your bottom leg long, you're just going to take that left leg over the top and take your twist. If you had the bottom leg bent, you're going to bend the right knee, left leg over the top, wrap the right arm around the left leg, and then walk those left fingers back as far as you can, and then lifting up out of those fingers so that we're sitting nice and tall throughout this rotation. Nice deep breaths. If you wanted to take that hook of the elbow around the outside of that knee, then you can, but again, just watch for collapsing, watch for rounding. Try to stay upright in the chest and keeping both hips on the floor as much as you can. Keep the breath deep down into the belly. So your whole body is still involved in this breathing process. It's not just your chest that's breathing. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, gently unwind. And then we're going to take our Paschimottanasana, which is our full forward fold, so legs together. We're reaching the arms all the way up. And then we're exhaling, folding forward over those legs, reaching for the feet, bowing the head. So this can often feel quite a bit harder than the wide leg forward fold, unless maybe there's some really tight inner thighs. But most people find that full forward fold with legs together is more challenging for the hamstrings and the spine, the lower back. Think about working with your breath here. So as you inhale, you lengthen the spine forward. As you exhale, you soften down. So inhaling to lengthen, exhaling to deepen. So again, when your muscle, I guess it's like a little brain in your muscles that say, whoa, that's too much stretch. We need to protect the muscles so they don't tear. We need to tell that sense or that reaction that it's safe, that it can let go. And we do that by working with our breath and working with gentle encouragement of release. Not force, not holding, not pulling or tightening. Good. Taking our last inhale here. And then as you exhale, we're going to roll all the way back up. And then to come back down to the floor, we're just going to take a nice little boat pose. So you can grab hold of the back of the thighs and lift the knees, elbows wide, hold this balance. If you think you can hold on to this without your hands, then you're going to reach your arms forward. Good. So feet can be together, knees apart, or both legs parallel, it's up to you. Good, just trying to draw those knees toward the chest toward the knees. Now we're going to transition into low boat. So we're just going to lengthen the legs, slow motion, lengthen the shoulders back or lengthen the upper body back so that we end up in a hollow hold here, lower back pressing into the floor, but feet and shoulders lifted. If you're still with me, maybe you've collapsed, but if you're still with me and you want to add on, perhaps reach the arms overhead. Good, holding this for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release all the way down. Take a nice big stretch in your body, pointing the toes, reaching the fingers overhead. Taking a big inhale. And then exhale, drawing the knees into the chest. Good. Take a few circles with those knees, guiding them with your hands. So just circling those knees in opposite directions. So you've got 2 circles going, 1 with each knee. Good, change direction. Just loosening off through the hips. Good, and then we're going to come back into that reclined spinal twist that we did at the beginning, and we're going to take it a bit deeper now. So keep that right knee in, lengthen the left leg away. Left hand on the outside of that right knee, extend the right arm out at shoulder height, and then take that right knee all the way over to the left. Turn your gaze to look past the right hand, and maybe see how much deeper you can get here this time. So we're still trying to keep the back of the shoulders on the floor. That's our anchor point. But we allow that right leg to come all the way across. And breathe deep into the belly. Feel the lower back release here. Good, coming back up to center. Both knees in toward the chest, straighten yourself up. Keep the left knee in, extend that right leg long, and then take that right hand to the outside of the left knee. Take the left knee all the way over to the right, looking out past the right hand with your gaze. The shoulders are anchored, but that left hip is lifted off the floor, so you're creating that rotation through your lower back. So sometimes if we're not lifting the hips off the floor or lifting one hip off the floor, the twist isn't quite deep enough. We're kind of just in a bit of a, like a knee pull. So we're going to allow the whole pelvis to roll over to that one side. Soften the belly, breathing deep. One more breath in. And then exhaling, coming out. Good. Last one today is just a nice little hip stretch. So you're just going to cross your right ankle on top of the left thigh. So if you look down, it would look like a upside down 4. Pick the left foot up off the floor and reach your right hand through in between the legs, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh, and draw that left knee in and push the right knee away. I don't know if anyone heard that, but there's a massive thunderstorm happening at the moment. I'm literally just waiting for the electricity to come out, and there was a huge thunderclap. But I think this microphone's pretty good at isolating my voice from everything else, so maybe you didn't hear it, but it's quite nice actually when it rains and feels all cozy. So breathing deeply here, maybe drawing that left knee in that little bit more, pushing that right knee away. Good, and then release, let's swap sides. So left ankle on top of the right thigh, threading that left hand through in between the legs, Interlacing the fingers behind that thigh, drawing that right knee in, pushing that left knee away. And sometimes it's too much to pick up that bottom foot, the right foot off the floor and pull the knee in. So if you're finding that it's plenty enough stretch with that foot on the floor and just gently pressing that knee away, then that's absolutely fine. You're just going with whatever level of flexibility you have. Couple more deep breaths here, maybe seeing if you can pull the right knee in that bit further, sending that left knee away. Good, and then releasing. Take your arms wide. Bring your feet out to outside edges of the mat so that your knees are bent, but your feet are wide, feet and knees are wide. And we're just gonna take a nice windscreen wiper with those legs, loosening up through the hips. Okay. And then bringing yourself back to center. We're going to walk the feet down to the bottom corners of the mat and bring the arms down by our side. Just readjust yourself so that you feel that you can rest into the floor. So maybe for your Shavasana, your deep relaxation, you like to do it with your knees bent, feet flat, or maybe you like to have pillows underneath your knees so that you have a little bend in the knees and your legs drape over something. So just take whatever option you feel is best for you. Make sure you're comfortable closing the eyes and taking a few deep breaths. You're just going to let this be a time for the practice to settle in your body. So there's nothing that you need to do, and hopefully nowhere that you need to be within the next couple of minutes. So you're just allowing your body to adjust to what it's just done, letting everything land. Just keeping your awareness on that breath coming in and out. Noticing where in your body you can release, where you can soften, where can you let go, where can you get heavier. Can you trust the ground to support the weight of your body just that little bit more? I'm going to leave you here to rest for as long as you need. So take your time. This is your time to rest and let everything settle. So really let yourself use it, let yourself take that time, and don't rush to get up.